Hi, this is Ken Muscat with MSC Cruises here with Travel Market Report, and I have the pleasure of sitting today with Susan, who I've known for a very long time. So happy that you're able to join us. Thank you for participating in this and giving some of our travel advisors that are listening some of your great advice. So thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for inviting me, Ken,
Sure.
and I'm excited to help other travel advisors.
That's great. So let's start off by telling us who you work with and how long you've been in the business.
Well, I work for New Era Travel. We're based in Miami, and I've been in the industry since I'm 17 years old.
Wow. What got you into the business at that young of an age?
I was in Madison, Wisconsin, and I needed to work my way through college, and they needed someone that spoke another language besides English. And I spoke Spanish with a Manhattan accent, so I was the winner.
Nice, good for you. So since 17, what has been the most rewarding thing to keep you in the business for this long?
I think change. In our industry, every day is a new day in our industry. When I first started out in the industry, I worked on the old Raytheon huge computers that American Airlines had that no longer exist, and we still had a big book where we wrote on files the reservation cards, and then they all disappeared. Everything went electronic. After that, I was a tour guide for Globus Gateway in Europe, and you had big buses with lots of people, and now those lots of people are wearing headsets and listening to tours and with their phones and walking around towns with iPhones and Samsungs redirecting their way around the world.
Yeah. So how has the advancement of technology really changed the way that you do business? You just finished telling me when you walked in that you were working on the MSC Academy online. So whether it's that, whether it's the way that people book, whether it's social media, how has technology really changed the way the business has evolved?
I think years ago in the travel industry, whether it's the cruise industry or land or any type of air, we used to be talking on the phone all the time, and we worked 9 to 5. Now we work 24/7. We need to be available Monday through Sunday, and maybe by the use of electronics nowadays, it makes you give even more of a personal touch.
So would you say the biggest advantage of working with a travel advisor is that personal touch? Is that what you use to differentiate yourself? Because there's many ways for people to book. They could go directly to a cruise line, direct online, they can contact a travel advisor. What's the biggest benefit of working with a travel advisor?
3 of them. One of them, I was telling you the other night, I was studying last night to become an MSC specialist. When you speak to a travel advisor, you're really speaking to a specialist, someone who knows the product, loves the product, and wants to teach you, the guest, the client, about the project. When you're on the internet, there's no personality. The specialization, it's not there. When you need help during the trip, that person is there. When you want to have help to go on another trip after the trip, that person is there. So it's not only education, it's being there to give your hand to someone, to reach out and be there for them, to guide them through the whole experience.
Yeah, good point. So do you specialize in a certain type of travel?
I do. 1/3 of our industry for us is groups, political groups, fundraising groups, and multicultural and multi-generational. The other 1/3 of our group business or regular individual business is honeymoons and destination weddings. And then the 3rd part of our business is cruise and vacation travel.
So one of the things that I get questions a lot from travel advisors. They say, you know, especially talking about the cruise industry, there's so many different brands, so many different ships, categories, specialty dining, you know, shore excursions, everything like that. And, you know, I always say you can't do it all. You just can't, you can't learn it all and keep up with it all. So do you find it really beneficial to specialize in a certain, you know, destination or brand, or like you're doing with honeymoons or group travel? Is that what you would recommend to people?
I do, because there's a saying, you can't be everything to everybody.
Yeah.
But if you're good at one special thing, whether it be groups, whether it be weddings, whether it be cruises for families, then people will remember you because that's your specialty and that's who you are. I have a name in the industry for political travel or fundraising travel, traveling for a cause.
I've noticed you mentioned traveling with a cause, which is very interesting because I've noticed just in the recent years, whether it's millennials getting more into traveling or whatever the case may be, many people today are looking to travel with a cause. Whether it's part of a group, whether it's even doing a regular Caribbean cruise, but maybe they want to do a shore excursion like our Martha Stewart shore excursions that take you off the beaten path and do something different. Do you find that that is something that travel agents should focus on today and learn more about?
I do, because people like to be with people like themselves.
Right.
And people who are generous, people who want to give back. They like to be with people who want to give back. Mm-hmm. Then there are people that say, I'm not all about fundraising all the time, but while I'm in a particular area, I'd like to do something special for the people. So those people can go on a cruise, go to the Caribbean, go to Europe, and go with maybe a donation or go help out in an area. And that's becoming a very big thing in our area of travel.
Definitely.
That's growing.
Definitely. Do you define yourself as a brand? Do you know, obviously many companies have their brand positioning and what makes them a brand. And it's important many times for individuals like ourselves to have our own brand. What would you describe as your brand?
My brand is we're a multicultural travel company. We speak multiple languages, from Dutch to Spanish to German to Italian. And when you call our office, there's very few places in the world that one of our travel advisors has not been to. And we're able to communicate with people from different backgrounds and different cultures. And whether in Miami, Florida, or Massachusetts, mm-hmm. people want to be able to communicate with each other and have like-minded people.
So how do you get the word out there about that? How do you advertise? How do you promote yourself? Because that's very unique positioning and definitely something that makes you a specialist in that area. How do you communicate that?
Well, many of our employees are members of organizations, and these organizations rely on our employees to do their fundraising because, you know, we don't just talk the talk, we do it. We're involved with the American Cancer Society. We're involved with the Elks. We are people that give back. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the year, I always say the 2/3 support the 1/3. Mm-hmm. So social media, we're there. We also, like with MSC, reach out and we do joint marketing ventures mm-hmm. to keep us alive, to keep us growing.
So MSC Cruises, we're about to take on our 17th ship, and we're going to have 25 by 2027. Sometimes people you talk to get worried about overcapacity or too much coming on. What are your thoughts around that? Because I'll give you my thoughts in a second, but what are your thoughts around how much the industry is growing? Is it opportunity? Is it something to be scared about?
I think that with the expansion of the cruise lines, it's just reaching out to more and more people who haven't cruised, because at the end of the day, the majority of the people, not just in the United States, but now we're global, yep. in the world have not been on a cruise ship.
Right.
They watch them on movies, they watch them in TV shows, and many people don't even know that they can even afford a cruise. So I think overcapacity, no. And what's really interesting with MSC and many of the brands is they're reaching out to other destinations, yeah. because not only is it reaching out to new people, but maintaining the older clients, your existing guests that want to do more and more because they enjoy the cruise experience.
Very happy you said that, because I agree 100%. I think we're in the most exciting time.
I agree.
In our industry, and I think, you know, more ships, more options, more competition, more places to go, more people to reach out to. You're right. The market is as big as it's grown. It's incredibly underpenetrated. So tons and tons of opportunity, which also leads to more younger, new people coming into the business, which is great. So there's so many new cruise brands coming into the business and brands growing like crazy. MSC has been in the business for a while, but we're still an up-and-comer in the North American market. What advice do you have in the best way to learn about these brands?
I think one of the best ways is to go on the website, go on MSC Academy, become an MSC specialist, because you'll have the extra knowledge you need to impart with your guests and all of your employees so that you can become a better cruise specialist.
Excellent. Well, thank you for taking the course.
Okay, thank you.
So last question, what is the one thing that no matter who you're talking to, somebody new coming into the business or somebody who's been in the business for a long time like yourself, or speaking at conferences or on panels, what do you always convey? What's the most important thing when it comes to being a super successful travel advisor?
I think no matter whether you're a travel advisor or vice president of cruise sales, you have to wake up in the morning with passion. The day you wake up every day with passion is the day you're really not ever working, because you love what you do so much that it's a gift to do it.
I love it. Great advice. Thank you so much
You're
for
most
spending time
welcome.
with us.
You're welcome.
Thank you for sharing these great best practices, and continued success to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.